All right, what is up? Welcome to the Spoiler Kings. My name is Tank Kramer, Brandman Brandon. We got special guests with us, Derpy Entertainment. We are going to be reviewing Spider-Man Brand New Day, get into our likes, our dislikes, our ratings at the end. We'll probably talk a little bit about the box office because, wow,
Right?
wow, with that box office. But before we get into that, how about Derpy? You want to let people know where they can find you? On
Yes.
one of the many channels.
Uh, um, you can find me here on YouTube on Derpy Entertainment. The Average Boys podcast every Sunday night at 9. Two Dumb Yinzers, Steelers podcast. Twitch, Derpy Entertainment. Kick, Random Derpster. And Instagram and Twitter, or formerly used as Twitter, X, Dirtman2929.
Dirtman or Derpman?
Dirtman.
Dirtman. Okay, I was like
2929.
There you go. So make sure you check out Derpy. I'll make sure I'll put some links in the description so you can go check them out on some of those places. But yeah, we appreciate everyone coming in. If you're in the live chat, you guys are awesome. Leave your comments. Let us know what you think about this movie, because I know we got people like Jen that just came in. We got Cleves that just came in. And we got people that have been in here for a while. So appreciate all you guys in the live chat. But if you're watching on the replay, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, come and join us when we do movie reviews like this. We appreciate it. We have a lot of fun talking with everybody. But usually Brian gives us the rundown, but he's on his vacation. So I'll do a quick rundown before we get into our actual discussion. So Spider-Man Brand New Day. Peter Parker devotes his life to protecting New York City as a full-time Spider-Man. But as the demands on him intensify, the pressure sparks a surprising physical evolution that threatens his existence, even as a strange new pattern of crimes give rise to one of the most powerful threats he's ever faced. So yeah, pretty good description. So yeah, we got pretty much everyone coming back with this one. You know, Tom Holland, Zendaya, Jacob, what the hell's his name?
Battalion.
Battalion. Yeah, and then we got. Did he? I didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then we got Sadie Sink coming in. We got a new director, Dustin Daniel Cretton, who also did Shang-Chi. So yeah, but all the main people are still here. John Bernthal again. John Bernthal was in this one. Mark Ruffalo also was in here for a little bit. So.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So full spoilers. So if you haven't watched it, make sure you hit pause, go check it out, come back, and we're gonna talk about all the spoilers because there's some big ones for sure. But we'll start off with Derpy, and then we'll go Brandman and me. Let us know what you like about this movie.
Should I just say? I mean, it's probably the best Tom Holland story of the four. I mean, I loved it.
Yep.
I mean, I cried. You guys can't deny it either. Nobody can. Even the most cold-hearted soul, you can't deny you cried. Seeing Tom Holland, aka Peter, in this as Peter Parker, it was very sad and emotional. Like just seeing him face adulthood alone. It just kind of like felt like most dudes over like 30 now.
Yeah.
It just felt sad and depressing. But like I enjoyed the movie, the heck out of it. I loved the cameos, even though some were over the top. It was one tier. No, it was more than one tier, Lawrence. You know it was. No, but I had a good time. There was some pacing issues here and there, I would say. Just like it would basically go like, oh, I'm enjoying it, and then it would just slack, and then you'd be back into it, if you know what I mean. That was but overall, I had a good time. I had a very good time.
Yeah. Was there any cameos? I don't want to say cameos, but any like cameos that you enjoyed like more than others?
I I don't want to say it because it'd probably be a spoiler.
We're doing full spoilers.
Yeah, go for it, dude.
Oh, we're doing full spoilers.
Yeah, full
Big
spoilers.
potato, small potato. If you know what I mean. Just seeing that meme and over the internet the last couple nights is just hilarious. But it was Yelena showing up, of course.
Mhm.
Yeah.
In her office.
Mhm.
Yeah. The best office.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I guess Sadie Sink, who we've known for some time who she was, if you've paid attention over the internet.
Worst kept secret.
Yeah, worst kept secret. She acted her butt off just like Tom Holland did in this. I would say it's a weaker version or direction of the character, even though it somewhat showed some of her origin, how it's supposed to go. I would say it's more of a weaker direction and how it went. But I mean, her powers are, of the character. I don't want to say it yet, but the powers of her character were a force to reckon with in this movie, and it definitely showed and affected many characters. Frank, the Punisher, right?
Yeah.
He
His constant
he was hilarious. He's always been, and as the Punisher. And of course they had to throw the depressing limited time show or whatever it's called, the origin of him still into the movie, and it's like I mean, why do you got to do that? Why do you got to do that? We already have Peter Parker depressed over MJ, and then you got to throw in a family, origin about that. But and then Zendaya and Jacob, they did what they did. They've been done the last 3 films. Be the best versions of that they can to support Peter. This time around, they just weren't there to support him until for like at least the end. But this movie was a blast, dude. This movie was a blast.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. So, Fernando, one I'm gonna not show that comment until we get into it because that was a big spoiler. But this, Fernando said this is the strongest portrayal of Jean Grey in my opinion. I think so. It's a very different portrayal of Jean Grey, which I'll get into that later with some of my negatives. But she was pretty good. Pretty powerful. Pretty powerful. Yeah. So okay. What about you, Brandman? What are some of your likes?
I liked that as a Spider-Man fan. Spider-Man's my favorite superhero of all time. It felt like more, as far as the MCU and Tom Holland goes, it felt like more of the Spider-Man movie that I've kind of been waiting for quite some time. I think even the tone and just feel of the movie was probably definitely it worked for me a lot more than, and I want to go see the movie again before I kind of solidify this, but there as far as the tone and the feel of the movie that Destin Daniel Cretton brought, on certain levels it worked a little bit more for me than the Sam Raimi movies did. And I mean that in the best way possible, because the Raimi movies, as iconic as they are, and they walked so a lot of the future stuff could run, they have this kind of intentional, and this goes for Raimi's style as a whole. They have this very intentionally like hokey very ham-fisted B movie feel to them that I kind of have to be in a certain mood to watch. Again, not a knock against them at all, but they're just like intentionally very hokey, and I have to be in a specific mood for them, as opposed to this where I could kind of see myself having a little more rewatch value.
Brand.
Also, the fact that the opening montage was set to one of my favorite songs by one of my favorite bands, TV on the Radio, was enough for me to just instantly 5-star it. That was awesome.
That's it.
Yeah, like I instantly started like tapping my feet when that happened, when that kicked in. I like how the change in directors from John Watts to Destin Daniel Cretton really worked.
You definitely felt that.
Yeah, it worked to its advantage, you know, because I think this needed to feel distinctly different considering where Peter was at this point in his life. So I liked how I liked the character progression of Peter. He felt very different than how he did in the previous 3 movies. I liked how you know, it explored Peter as more of a, you know, as more of an innovator and a scientific mind, which I think you need when it comes to the character. And I just and it also set the stage to for some good stuff and good character development in future films, because let's face it, after the money that it made this weekend, we're getting more movies.
Yes.
Oh yeah, because I know on Saturday. Well, we
till the end of time.
Well, we looked up how many movies Tom Holland signed on for, and I guess it's we don't know yet, but right now the rumor is anywhere between 3 to 5 movies is what he signed up for. You know, and I was always expecting 5 at least. You know,
they're gonna milk all the Spider-Man webbing from the fluids
from his wrist, all of it.
Yeah.
So definitely get some at least another solo film for sure.
But
quickly, Brand. Didn't it feel like the PlayStation games, dude?
Oh yeah, totally. There were
100%.
There were a lot of points where it felt like Spidey PS4. Even he was moving like Spider-Man from
PS4.
Yeah, definitely.
The swinging and everything.
All the swinging, all the fighting,
all the fighting.
Fight scenes.
Even the way his crib looked, his apartment kind of looked, reminded me of you know, even some of the stuff that he was doing with his webs reminded me of Spidey PS4. So yeah, definitely. And it just felt like a very classic street level Spider-Man that story, which is something that I was really wanting.
A few comments real quick. Fernando said that we should have gotten a lot more of Tombstone. That's a big complaint, and I do agree. You know, I would have liked more of Tombstone, maybe even like Tombstone and Scorpion working together and stuff. But I think that little montage of all his little villains he had, you know, because we had Ramrod and a few other people. I feel that's gonna play into another Spider-Man movie. You know, because if they're looking at this and they're like, oh, this one is, you know, street level kind of Spider-Man on his own without Tony Stark. He's not like, you know, Spider / Iron Boy like how he has been. And I wonder if they're like, okay, let's go back to doing more of that. You know, so we'll see. I hope we get more of it, because that casting was a perfect casting, and he looked awesome. He looked awesome on screen. Tombstone.
For the 5 seconds he was on there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, hope see more of Tombstone. But the way they did it, because I enjoyed that montage so much, but it definitely left me wanting more. But the way they did it this time, it worked. They very focused. you don't want to like overcome certain stories. So even though I would have loved to have seen more Tombstone in this movie, I was okay with it with what they did.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
Just do more with him in a sequel.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it was even though like we said we wish more. I think it was the only way they could do it with this particular story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, because it showed like what he's been doing for 4 years. You know, like
Right,
he's been finding these like more street level, more of his rogues gallery. You know, because they had to like do something like what he's been up to for 4 years. So you show all these like big bads of like Scorpion and Tombstone and Ramrod and stuff like that. The Hand. So it's like, okay, like he's been busy. You know, so like I definitely got that vibe. It's just like I wish we would have probably got some more. That would have been definitely cool. Yeah.
Come
I'm
on,
expecting a team
you
up.
can't be
I'm
greedy
expecting
now.
a team up. I know, right? Give me
Come
like
on,
a
we gotta learn
3.5
from
movie.
Disney being greedy. Come on.
Cleve said it would have been cool if Daredevil had showed up. Even if you saw him in the jail, I think would have been cool.
Yeah, that would have been enough for me.
That would have been cool. You know,
I probably would have better seen than the last one.
Mm-hmm.
The last in No Way Home.
Oh. Where he's the lawyer.
He used the lore and then he catches a brick.
Yeah. Yeah. I think seeing like that would have been cool. It was like, hey, my lawyer's in jail. You know, like something like that would have been like kind of cool, you know. But I get it. You know, is what it is. Yeah. But as I said, Spider-Man and Punisher had good chemistry. They did. They had really good chemistry. But like Lauren said, you know, they're friends in real life, you know. So yeah, you could tell like, oh, excuse me, how interesting it was because like the moments with Tom and Zendaya were like so good, and I was like, well, yeah, they're married, you know. So it was like they have good chemistry because in real life they have good chemistry, you know. And then same thing with Punisher and Spider-Man, you know. It's like because in real life they have good chemistry, like they, you know, these are actors that know how to act, and them being good friends outside of work, you know. It definitely shows. But
yeah. You know what happened when he said MJ did not touch anything or get away from that what's it called, the mural, right? Or
the cabinet with all the pictures.
Yeah. All I could think of is one meme of that actor. Can you think of that? It's
from John Bernthal?
Yeah, it's from The Walking Dead.
I don't know which one.
I can't.
What is that? What is that?
What is it? and it's
and he just starts rushing
and it starts running. Yeah. I have to watch this movie again because it has to be in here.
That was the only thing I could think of when he did that.
That is funny. But I have to watch it again because I want to see if he does his let me tell you something, you know, moment.
Yeah,
that he's just known for.
And
yeah,
I gotta revisit it to see if I missed it.
Yeah, because I'm sure there's a bunch of moments where he could have said it, you know. But he was a good he was good, you know. But like one of my like things that Derpy you touched on was John being protective of Frank Castle, you know, Punisher being protective of his the cabinet with like the pictures of his wife and his kids and stuff like that. And I like that because like they even talk about a little bit of it being here's Tom, I keep saying like the real life name. Here's Peter, you know. Here's Peter Parker who's all alone right now, handling all this pressure by himself. You know, and he's young, you know, like he's you know, early 20s or something like that, you know, at this point. But then like it's like a mirror because you're like, oh well, here's Frank who's been doing it for a long time, you know, with in the military and then at home with his wife and his kids getting, you know, killed and stuff like that. So it's like, hey, careful because you could turn into that kind of person, and I don't think Peter wants to become what Frank is, so I enjoy like that kind of dynamic between them two. Was like they have a lot of similarities of what's going on in their personal life, and one decides to like kill everybody and the other one's like, no, I need to be a hero, so yeah, stuff like that. But yeah, overall, man, everyone did a great. Zendaya killed it, as when she was like mind controlled by Jean, that was cool. And then she like does this like look, that whole scene on the roof was great. And you just see like how it just crushes Peter, man. And you just
I
felt
was messed up with Jean.
Oh man, yeah, super
I mean,
messed up.
That's
Yeah.
Jean though. Like, I mean, that's her character in a way.
Yeah, I mean, in this movie, yeah.
In this one,
she's definitely a little crazy a little bit with stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, just all around, I thought the acting was pretty good. It felt like a good like Spider-Man kind of thing. Ned was great. I all the way through, like Ned was just like, he's the MVP, man. Like they're just building Legos and he's just like super chill about it, and then I think the end scene, is kind of a spoiler, where all the way at the end, the one person that remembers is no one was talking about like what if Ned remembers. It's always like, oh, what if MJ they kiss and she remembers everything and blah blah blah, or what if like Hulk remembers because Hulk wasn't himself, he was technically blah blah blah. No one brought up like just the power of like two bros, two friendship, this like super strong friendship is like, that's the thing that breaks this curse, like it was so good. I enjoyed just that part. Like I was like, like it was out of left field. It was great.
In my theater, as soon as that scene ended and it went to black, everyone was like, come on, like everyone was like, come on, we're leaving on a cliffhanger like that.
Oh man, yeah. No, my theater was like cheering, they were clapping. There was a bunch of people dressed up as Spider-Man that were chanting Spider-Man, stuff like that. But no, that was just that was well done. I thought, it was just like the one character no one was talking about, that's going to be the guy that remembers first, and then when you think about it, it just makes so much sense, like besides, yeah, he's the guy in his chair. Besides, Aunt May, like Ned probably knows him better than anybody else, so yeah, it was cool. And we got VB Morris. What's up? Appreciate the jewels. Dropping off some jewels. Thank you. Oh man. Yeah. Punisher just falling asleep in Peter's room was off since he was always on the run. Yeah, that was weird. Yeah. My theater was also very festive with the yeah. But yeah, it was just the action was great. The graphics, the visuals were great.
The slow shots.
Which one?
The slow comic book shots of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That was cool. Like the attention to detail of the actual shots was cool.
Yeah, that whole opening montage was just top tier.
Yeah, with it. No worries. I know the tips and jewels and things are a newer thing, but we appreciate that, VB. Oh man, but yeah, it was pretty good. Even Sadie Sink, I enjoyed her performance as Jean, and I'm really curious to see where it goes with the X-Men at the going forward, because it brings up a lot of questions for me as a big X-Men fan. I'm not the biggest Jean Grey fan, so I had to look up. I'm like, is this her story? Because I'm like, I don't remember it being this her story, and I was like, no, a lot of it was kind of like made up. Like, yeah, she has a sister, but her sister, died a very different way in the comics, and stuff like that. Yeah.
Two things. Was that Rogue on the bus?
I don't think that was Rogue on that boss.
I'll be honest.
It looked like her though.
It looked like her.
And
Yeah.
secondly, was the villain that Jean Grey Sadie wanted to take out, was that the guy, like the character wise? Was he from X2? Was that like the one that wanted? I was thinking of it, but I don't think it is. But
I don't think
no.
no.
Tillman.
Yeah, I just I don't know. I just that's what I thought it was, but it definitely wasn't one him.
The biggest thing that he's done, well, he was in Mission Impossible in the last one.
Yeah.
And then, but he's probably most well known for Severance.
Okay.
He's in Severance, and he's great in Severance. And this, I mean, even this role was kind of his character in Severance a little bit, So
I just thought he was the guy from X2, the villain from X2. We tried to get Logan and stuff, and invaded the mansion, but he definitely wasn't
like the actual character, like
the
actor or the character,
the actual character.
No. No. Yeah, you think about Stryker, yeah,
right.
Everything.
No, I don't think that was Stryker. No, definitely not.
Okay.
No.
It gave off the vibe though. No lie, you can't deny it. It gave off.
Yeah, I think he's.
I could see that. Yeah,
because he's a pretty big up and coming actor, in a lot of things. So I could see him playing a bigger role in the X-Men films going forward. Because like Fernando said, like Peter accidentally gave Damage Control like the inhibitor collars for the X-Men. So I can see him being part of like creating the Sentinels and stuff like that. I think he's gonna be a big part of that world going forward. I think. I could be wrong, but you never know. Jen said facts thanks a lot of questions, but this is a different universe from the comic book universe. Which would be Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. I had the same problem since her origin story was so different. We'll get into the negatives. I mean, it's a negative, but that was my biggest kind of head scratcher for me, was just what they did. But after listening to other people and seeing what people are talking about, I was like, I'm looking at it a little differently. But so, yeah, he's coming back with Trask. That's who I couldn't think of his name. Trask. Yeah, he's definitely coming back with Trask. He's gonna be part of like the anti-mutant movement. Right. I think. Yeah, he's definitely gonna be a big player going forward. Because he's such a big actor that they just casted him for this, or not a big actor, but a big up and coming actor. So yeah, I see him being part of the X-Men world going forward. Yeah. But we'll jump into some of the negatives. What were some of the problems you had with this one, Derpy? Ooh, definitely Fernando. Definitely noticed that.
Like it's probably like the montage, maybe. I mean, just seeing the villains and not getting that much of it of them.
Getting the tease.
Yeah, maybe some pacing issues, like I said before. Just like in moments, it would be like you're locked in, and then it would just like you would daze out or something like that. At least for me. The other thing is probably Hulk was cool. Like this version of Hulk was cool, but in a way, it was kind of unnecessary. Like him appearing like that and then causing like all that. But I get why it's just to push the plot along, but and everything. But it in my opinion, I think that was a negative. You really didn't need Hulk there. But they got to make merchandising somehow, right, folks? Because that's Disney.
Yeah, but that's the biggest complaint I heard from a lot of people, was the disappointment of Hulk not being bigger or more important in the story than what he was.
Right.
So yeah, hearing that a lot.
What else would I would say? I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, I guess besides maybe a bit of a reaction saying this is the best Spider-Man movie of all
Mhm.
time by many YouTubers
Mm-hmm.
that really don't read comics. But I mean that's probably the last only negative I would say is that the overreaction, I mean, I'm gonna say it, the glaze of the movie
Uh,
is probably the last negative I would have. Is that it's it's top three, but not top. It's top three,
mhm.
if not top five, but it's not the best Spider-Man movie.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah.
Just the
Yeah, I have it in
overreaction of it.
my top 3.
But that's how I
Yeah.
feel about the negatives.
Okay. Okay. Few comments. Poor Peter's always is making a mess trying to do the right thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jen said there wasn't really a villain in the movie. It was kind of damage control. That's a weird villain. Yeah,
Yeah.
even then it's yeah. Yeah, and that was something
I mean,
me and Brian talked about on Saturday.
I guess one more thing, maybe like, I mean, I've seen this before. It was kind of cameo slot
Mhm.
in a way, because there was a lot of cameos of characters we really didn't need because Jean was mainly the villain. But
Mhm.
that's just how I feel negative.
Mhm.
The negatives.
Okay. Okay. What about you, Brian man?
I know I already said I would have loved to have seen more Tombstone.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
What else? This just sounded this I know this is going to sound super nitpicky, but it just felt I know there was kind of a throwaway line about Peter saying that he felt guilty about what happened to May. I just think that really felt kind of tacked on and a little
Forced.
derivative.
Yeah,
Yeah,
forced.
like knowing full well that that was not his fault, that was nobody's fault but Norman Osborn's. Um, so it just felt like I know Peter's thing is he carries a lot of guilt. He blames himself for a lot of stuff, but that's
Mm-hmm.
one thing that he really shouldn't have been blaming himself for, because he was not responsible for that. I I think I see what you're saying, Derp, about the Hulk. I could have taken or left that. They and I also agree it could have had like a more kind of more of a definitive villain or like a final boss, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I you know at the same time I kind of
It works.
it worked for kind of what they were going for, and some of the stuff in terms of like excuse me, in terms of building the greater universe, obviously this was trying to kind of plant some seeds for X-Men. This
Big
really
time.
could have been in its own corner without any connective tissue to like X-Men, that sort of thing. To an extent, they kind of could have used a different villain, but again, it is what it is. So but I think those are my complaints about it.
Okay. Okay. All right, Jen said, I wanted to know why Spider-Man told Hulk it's me, Peter. I was confused because Doctor Strange spell. How would he know it's him? I mean, I guess you're hoping, that he would remember, and then I mean, I wonder if that's why they picked the Hulk to be in the movie was because the whole kind of like two different beings living inside the one body, because you have the Hulk, and then you have like Bruce. So it's like because the Hulk was kind of not around when the spell
Right.
happened, so when the Hulk, actually emerged in this film which we haven't seen the Hulk. Fuck, we haven't seen the Hulk since Infinity War, right?
Right.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, when Thanos beats his ass. That was the last time we saw like the Hulk,
Mhm.
Well, there's the twerking She-Hulk show, but that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, but he's not the Hulk there. Like he's
Right,
Professor Hulk.
right.
You know,
Right.
even in that one, you know, so he never hulks out, you know, so maybe, but even then it's like, okay, you know, it's you know, it was whatever. I also found it strange that like he didn't use his name at all for anybody. Every time he always like used a different name. So I was like, can he just not say he's Peter? You know, like is somebody gonna remember like, oh, that's Peter, you know? So you know, I don't know. You know, that was a little like they didn't really explain that, and I guess that's like just, you know, the devil's in the details with the spell, you know. But yeah, he drew from memory. Yeah, or she drew from memory. Or I'll talk about MJ. MJ remembers, but isn't telling Peter because she doesn't want him to worry about her dying. Maybe I can see that. You know, but yeah, Bruce remembers him in their fight and regains control. Yeah, but and Lauren said Ned fully remembers after the handshake. I love that. I know a lot of people don't like that scene. I thought that scene was awesome. It was awesome. I loved it. And then VB is saying the whole MJ thing bummed me out. It's not a negative, but it was definitely like a sad moment because like here Peter finally like lets out all his emotions and MJ is just like, I don't even remember you, bro. And I was like, damn. It's just like,
yeah.
I saw it on Saturday, so that part hit me because it was National Girlfriend's Day.
Oh, was it?
I didn't even realize that.
I didn't know either. Oh, that's funny. But yeah, but that was I thought a good moment, you know. But yeah, my biggest issue was Jean Grey, you know, because the Jean Grey I always read and know about, like she's the goody of the X-Men. You know what I mean? She's the teacher's pet, you know, Professor S, you know, was like little teacher's pet kind of thing, you know. And then for them to change her so drastically, like really, like I'm like, she killed some people. She killed some people, and I was like, damn, you know, and that was kind of like the one thing, you know, me and Brian were talking on Saturday, was maybe there should have been, I know I forgot when you guys brought it up, maybe there should have been a final boss, you know, and we're like, Mr. Negative would have been a perfect version because it would have allowed.
I would have loved Mr. Negative.
It would have allowed her. It would allow her to be controlled so she can keep her innocence, I guess. I don't know, you know, like her, like, you know, still, you know, being like that. But also it would have allowed her to realize like how powerful she really is. And maybe it freaks her out and then she goes and seeks like help, you know, like from Professor X, you know. So that was my only thing, because then you get a real bad guy. You get somebody, a real bad guy, like just like that. Even I think Brian brought it up, like even Sinister. You could have done Mr. Sinister, would have been really interesting, because then that would have set up, you know, Madeline Pryor down the road. You know, that would have set up, you know, just the Sinister stuff for the X-Men as well. You know, I'm like, that would have been really cool too. You know, so I feel like there should have been a final boss with somebody kind of controlling her a little bit.
It should have been Black Adam.
Black Adam. The Rock just drops him.
The final boss.
But yeah, that was my biggest issue with that. Like, because everything else but didn't really bother me as much, you know. Like I think the cameos, I wish I got more cameos, but it's not nothing I hated. It's just something I wanted more of. The Hulk thing, like I do agree, like it was kind of like you just put him in, and you could have used Dr. Connors, you know, and used the Lizard, you know, but I get you want to use the Hulk because, you know, you need to do something with the Hulk, you know. And I feel also it's kind of like Dustin Daniel Cretton's like slap to the Russo brothers, like, oh, you don't know what to do with this character? Wow, watch this. You know, it's like like you can do something just like this and make him be a badass again, you know. So because I did appreciate when he like hulked out, like legit hulked out, and he grew like 3-4 more feet bigger. Like I was like, okay, that's dope. I miss Hulk. Like I miss Hulk, and
And this
yeah.
this
So
version of Hulk actually looked pretty cool.
yeah.
Like it looked
So
like the Incredible Hulk version, but like more detail.
Yeah.
yeah. But even like I enjoyed like how like like where Bruce was still in charge, so it was not full Professor Hulk, but he wasn't full Hulk, but it was like with his Professor Hulk kind of thing going on. But then like when he becomes the Hulk, like he gets even bigger, and I was
Right.
like, yes, like there's a difference between like the savage like crazy Hulk and then somebody like Professor Hulk, so yeah. So as much as I wanted more of stuff like that, like I can't say I hated it, but
Him growing
yeah, I
bigger,
mean,
you could thank
mhm.
the billions of dollars that Marvel has made over the years for that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But I mean, Gene was my only like issue. But like I said, after watching a bunch of other people talk about it and them like kind of having their theories, and it's just like talking about like if this is where the X-Men is going to go, where a bunch of these kids are going to have a lot of problems and they kind of come together, and it kind of shows like you're not just good or bad, or you could have been done bad stuff and now you're a good guy, which is very much X-Men-y, like
Yeah.
Emma Frost, a bad guy, and she became a teacher. Magneto, bad guy, and becomes, part of the X-Men. So them setting that kind of stuff up early is really interesting, and them doing their own thing with Jean. It's not my favorite
I
thing,
think
but I'm cool with it.
Mhm.
I'm cool with it.
I think you had to do it that way because most uh like they're used to the Fox version of Jean
Yeah.
Grey in the comic.
Yeah.
I think
True.
in the MCU they probably with Feige he wanted to do this version because you have to make it so different from fans that love the Fox version.
Yeah. I can see that. I can see that. Trying to make it its own thing.
Yeah.
So, well, I see that. Humble guy, what's up? Says, question, I haven't watched the movie, but is there a ship between Jean Grey and Peter? No.
I don't think so.
I
No.
didn't get those vibes.
I didn't get that vibe. No.
I didn't get that vibe.
Mhm.
There was a big rumor that Yelena was gonna like have a thing for Peter. Like she was gonna hit
Mhm.
on him, and she was gonna like, hey, what's going on? And
I mean,
that
she
was a
kind
big
of did.
rumor. I don't think so. I don't think so. I
You
think
don't think so?
I don't know. I don't think she tried to hit on him or at all. Because I'm like, why? Why? I think she was more like, like I need
She
to
was
trust.
more like big potato, and he was like more small potato.
Yeah, it was like she wanted to see the potatoes. I was like, no, but but now I think she was more of a power move. Saying to get in your undies and stuff like that. It was more of a power move. Make sure you don't have weapons and stuff like that. But
That's
but I was
what I
also
thought.
yeah, I didn't get that as flirty. So yeah,
Mhm.
but yeah, I didn't get between Gene and Peter. I didn't feel any of that kind of stuff going on. So, but appreciate you coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only telepath would know their connection with them, with Mary Jane and Peter. Yeah. Professor X has some work to do when he finds her. Yeah. I heard somebody saying like maybe they're already kind of like setting up Dark Phoenix way
Mhm.
down the road of like, hey, she always had this in her. So when she gets this ultimate power, like, it's not like too crazy if she becomes a little evil,
Mhm.
You
So.
know what I just thought of?
What's that?
You know how Secret Wars is supposed to like reboot everything,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and they're leading towards X-Men. Well, now that they have all the IPs, pretty much of all the characters, now they could probably do stories that they wanted to do instead of what they did back originally in Phase One.
Mhm.
Yeah. 100%.
You know what I mean? Like
100%.
when we wanted like Fantastic Four and X-Men all on one screen during the Avengers, and we didn't couldn't get it till like this last,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
that's what I think they might do with the reboot. But that's just a theory.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly what they're gonna do with the X-Men. Yeah. But Lauren said there's a rumor the MJ boyfriend is the Hobgoblin. What's his name? Paul?
I think his name was Paul. Yeah, did not
Is
see
it
that
Paul?
rumor.
No.
Yeah. No. I know in the comic books, I believe it's the same Paul, and people hate him. So yeah.
Mhm.
Man, the way Spider-Man went from Super Saiyan to Super Saiyan on the hand was fire. That was awesome.
Yeah,
That was
Yeah.
awesome. Oh,
yeah, he was
Yeah.
moving crazy in this movie. The fight scenes just went so hard.
yeah,
Bro
100%.
got a senzu bean and for inspiration.
Do not give this man a symbiote.
I know.
Right.
I know. And so I would say that's one of my other negatives was the evolution kind of thing.
Mhm.
They didn't go all the way with it because I was like,
Yeah.
so what else is gonna happen? Like, are you gonna become more spider like? Are you gonna become man spider? Like, what's gonna happen? And obviously they're setting it up for another movie. Where it's gonna play into effect that, especially if in Secret Wars he gets the black suit, which means he gets the symbiote and he has that evolution growing in him. So they're definitely setting up a lot of stuff in the future, and it which is fine. It's just like you're gonna do something like this where it's such a big part of the movie of him getting his evolution, and
Right.
I feel like you didn't finish exploring it. Like you just literally started looking into it. So yeah. Like does he control it now? Like yeah,
Yeah, because he just suddenly mastered it.
yeah. So that's my one other little issue. But again, I know they're gonna do it in Spider-Man what 5?
5,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it would be Spider-Man 5. Yeah. What's up, Delta Dan?
What's going on, Dan? 1 second, I'll be right back. He's back.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Finish up some comments. I don't think they'll do Dark Phoenix this time. They did it 3 times. They're gonna do it again. They probably won't do it so quick, but they'll do it again. I hope they take a long time to do Dark Phoenix. That's because I think they want to stay away from the Fox X-Men stuff for a while.
That's my next point.
Yeah, and also you got to do it the right way. You have to do it the right way.
They're gonna wait a minute for it because the last one was terrible adaptation of it.
Yeah, I mean the last 2 times,
Right.
It was just like she just had it. I'm like, you didn't even do the proper Dark Phoenix story,
Right.
So like you're just like, oh, Jean is just evil, It's like like she just had this power in her the whole time, and that's like part of me why her being like this is kind of worrisome for me. Was like because they already did that already twice of like, oh, she just kind of is evil as well. So yeah. So yeah. So like we'll do the hot D. Spoiler with that. It's okay. So yeah. I thought the VMAX, besides a nod to City Sync and Stranger Things. Oh, I didn't even think about the Vecna Max. Was the symbiote Venom Max serum, and it was like Air Vent brand. Yeah, that was kind of a dud. I did wish it was something a little bit bigger than that, but yeah. One of the best scenes is when Jean's breathing for Peter. That was cool.
Yeah.
That was cool. It kind of explained, like she was able to save him by breathing for him as he, was struggling to breathe and live. So, even the shot where he carries, where Punisher carries Spider-Man into the hospital, straight from the comic book.
Yeah.
Everyone,
they did not choose the same director. They chose one of the writers from The Last Stand, which was arguably even worse.
Last Stand sucks.
They let him direct. I think they let him write and direct this time. The guy one of the people responsible for messing up the story in the first place, Simon Kinberg. Brett Ratner directed the movie. I mean, which technically isn't too much better, but you know.
Speaking about the hospital scene with Punisher bringing him in,
Mm-hmm.
many reviewers or Twitter X accounts have said that they played the wrong song.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted the song from Into the Spider-Verse.
Mm-hmm.
Where I'm not scared when Peter dies.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted that song instead. That it was a missed opportunity.
That would have been cool. I didn't even think about that.
That would have been cool.
That would
Yeah.
have been cool to kind of tie in stuff like that. You know? Yeah. Because that would have been an easy request. Because I'm sure, like, you know, Sony has their own music, and I'm sure that's a Sony, you know, music kind of thing. And you could have easily like, hey, we want to use this to tie it in with that.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know, that would have been fine. Yeah.
I do think the best scene of the movie is when Punisher puts the mask on.
That was great.
It was funny.
He's like,
why was he making it?
Right.
Like, no one can hear you, man. Like, who are you trying to intimidate? Like, I don't get it.
And then seeing the kid, you know, I don't know if he knew it was him, or they just wanted a shot of a kid looking at him.
Mm-hmm.
But Peter definitely looked happier seeing the kid, you know, that was the mask that did it instead of actually him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just reflection of just he did all this and they will never know.
Yeah.
You know, but that scene is probably the best of the movie in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. It was I think it was pretty good. Well, here, since we'll finish things up with our ratings real quick. Put that there. So we'll rate Spider-Man Brand New Day. Now, later, never. Now means you got to watch it in theaters right now. Later means wait till it's out at home, Disney Plus or whatever. And never means just skip it altogether. Derpy, what you giving Spider-Man Brand New Day?
Not enough bigger and small potatoes, so it's later. No, I'm joking. It's a now. Yeah, it's definitely a now. I wouldn't wait. Go see it if you can, because that's definitely if you can, because at this point, it's going to be the all-time box office leader probably, and maybe even more. And then Doomsday may even surpass that, but we'll see. But it's definitely a now. So go get your tickets. Go with your family. Go with your loved ones. Anybody that you can, and go see this movie. It's a now.
Okay. What about you, Brandman?
Oh, this is easily a now. Go see it in the theater. Go see it on a big screen. You know, even if you're not a Spider-Man fan, but if you are, it definitely makes the experience a lot better. This is definitely one of the it's again, I need to go see it again before I solidify where I rank it in terms as far as my favorite Spider-Man movies go, but it's very much up there at this point in time. I think they did a lot great, and it left me wanting more. So this is a now.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm giving it now as well. Yeah, it was sorry, my dog started howling. Threw me off for a second. Yeah, it's definitely one of the better Spider-Mans for me. I think it's in my top 3, you know, when I started thinking about it. But yeah, I'm gonna go see it again. I really, you know, go see it again. It was a lot of fun. You know, the issues I had were more like just a me thing, but you know, everything worked for the movie so well. Tom was great, Zendaya was great, all the actors were great, the story was really great, you know. So, you know, a lot of comic book references too, you know, which is good to counter the non-comic booky stuff they changed. But it's definitely a now. It's definitely now. It was such a good movie. It was so much fun. I enjoyed it. enjoyed it a lot. But it's not just us who liked it. It is on Rotten Tomatoes. It is a 90% with the critics and a 98% with the audience. So people are liking it.
Mhm.
I think on Letterboxd, I think it's like a 4.5 or no 4.4. I think on Letterboxd. So yeah, and then money wise, it is insane how much money this made. It made. I think it holds the record for the biggest, the most money opening weekend at $933 million. It's
That's
almost
nuts.
at $1 billion already in its first weekend.
First
Yeah.
weekend.
Mhm.
And the crazier part is there's not much out after this until September.
Mhm.
Yeah.
With the Endgame release and some other films. And
Yeah.
then past that. But it's definitely going to be the all-time record. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Yeah. Jen's giving it in now. Yeah. So, yeah. And then also, talking about the phones. They went heavy-handed with the phone for sure.
That was
I
a
was
great placement. That was a great
Yeah.
placement.
Yeah, they did the announcement of the new Samsung Fold like with Spider-Man. So in the movie, when the movie came out, everyone had the damn a Samsung Fold, which I was like, Peter don't even have a job. He don't even have a job. How is he getting like the top of the line, like phone? So yeah. Lawrence is also giving it now. Yeah, very good. It was a lot of good stuff. Yeah, Samsung, the Asus, that was another thing. Little Caesars. And I'm like, you live in New York. Why are you ordering Little Caesars?
Little Caesars, right?
Right.
Come on, man.
All the pizza places down there, like bomb ass pizza places. But
all those places.
We know Peter's usually on a budget, but
Yeah.
Pizza time.
Yeah. At Samsung pay top dollar. I'm sure they did. Well, I know they work with Sony a lot too. So yeah. Peter has a sugar daddy. Yeah. Well, who brought it up? I think Jen might have brought it up. Fernando also giving it in now. Yeah. The movie made $309 million just off the promo, which is crazy. Yeah. But where was I saw Jen think. Here you go. I did like that he had his own equipment and nothing from Stark when he was working.
Mhm.
I thought the printer he was using wasn't that Stark's printer?
I don't think it was. It seemed like an entirely different fabricator, and it looked like he had just. It kind of looked like he had just kind of put it together himself. And I know that
he also had an AI, right? He had I forgot what the AI name was.
He had a whole new AI. I'm assuming I'm assuming he did that himself. Because they did establish him as pretty innovative right out of the woodwork when they first introduced him, and that he was like dumpster diving and putting together his own equipment and stuff like that. So I'm assuming he just kind of did something similar here.
Yeah. I was just wondering, like, did they tie it in? Because like Happy would have remembered Spider-Man, right? Because everyone remembers Spider-Man.
Mhm.
So if Tony said, "Oh, give my equipment to Spider-Man,"
Mhm.
I don't know. They kind of don't really explain it too well.
Mhm.
And then I saw somebody else say the blonde that he met on off the elevator.
Mhm.
If that would have been Gwen.
Gwen.
I heard a lot of people say that. I think that would have been a better Felicia, but either way. But
oh yeah,
Eve is the AI in this one.
Shout out to the
Eve's life.
Juicy Pants.
The Juicy Pants, that was funny.
That was hilarious.
Yeah.
Is that my shirt? No, I'm joking.
Yeah, it's like no. I love his new suit, half Toby and half Andrew. Yeah, it was very it took like the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That
She
would
kept
be
trying to
cool.
talk to him. She was. Yeah. That's why I was like, if it was Felicia, you can have Black Cat, and then that could start to maybe do some issues, because I feel
That
at
would be
some
cool. I would
point,
love a Black Cat movie.
yeah, at some point, I think if you introduce Black Cat and she is flirtatious as she is in the comics with Spider-Man, I think that would be interesting, because then, Michelle Jones, which is, MJ we have right now, needs to eventually
Go away.
go away, and we need, Mary Jane, the actual MJ, but, I don't know if I don't know if that's ever going to happen, because I don't know if you ever get rid of, Zendaya.
Zendaya is a name, so you really
Yeah,
can't.
exactly. And then Tom Holland also is like, is still working with his wife. So
Yeah.
we'll see. But Black Cat would be cool, because you need another. She's not really a love interest, but another, woman like flirting with him kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're married. It's a lot. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's probably not going anywhere anytime soon.
Did you see Did you see it before the movie came out? Like a couple of days. Zendaya did the Tobey Maguire dance.
Yeah,
I did not.
she walked out. Yeah, I think she was. I
Jimmy
forgot
Fallon.
what talk show she was.
Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon. Yeah,
That
she
is
walks out of her
hilarious.
dressing room and she does the dance.
Dance.
It was pretty funny.
Now I'm gonna have to
that was
go
pretty
look for that.
Yeah,
That's so funny.
yeah. Oh man, huge fan. Blackish if Zendaya is replaced. Oh, a huge
Yeah.
backlash if Zendaya. I was like, well, yeah, probably, because she's but I do appreciate they at least say like that's not Mary Jane, so like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Peter, are you gonna have her spider babies? No, I'm joking.
The Black Cat need to be Tiana Taylor with the white bust down. Tiana Taylor's Black Cat. But yeah, the MCU doesn't want to replace black characters right now. They don't need, they better not, especially somebody as popular and as loved as Zendaya. Like, yeah, they would you know how much, man, they would get so much crap. They would get so much crap.
And the fans would be ticked. Yes.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, I know we've been talking about it for a little while, but any last words? Any last thoughts? You want to bring up?
Those are all of mine so far.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But you, Derpy, anything else?
Not enough small potato and big potatoes in it.
Oh man, like I said, that doesn't even make any sense. So she's like, "Oh, your little potato stuff," and he's like, "I punched Thanos on a different planet." Like, what are you talking about? Like, lady with no powers.
And then the feet come up.
Yeah, that was funny. But yeah, but cool. Yeah, that's our discussion and review for Spider-Man. I know a lot of you guys in chat were hanging out and giving your thoughts and comments, so we appreciate that so much. And if you're watching on the replay, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you go check out Derpy Entertainment. I'll put a bunch of all his links in the description. So go check out Derpy. And again, we appreciate you, Derpy, coming in, hanging out with us with this review. But yeah, and then everyone hanging out in the live chat as well. But you guys all stick around, because we're going to move on to our next topic for the night.